Mizuno are back with an addition to their ST-230 driver lineup. And along the theme of a lot of driver releases this year, it's all about max forgiveness. So there are a few things about this driver that are designed to make it more forgiving and give it that max name that we see on the sole here. First up, the Cortex chamber has been made bigger, it's been expanded, and that's just going to support the face and give it a bit more of that spring-like effect, give you more distance. We've also got a new face material in here, which again is going to give to that ball speed theme. Now, what we see here is massive difference in terms of shaping, which is where we start to see that forgiveness come in. It's a lot bigger profile, especially at the back, it's being dragged out. We've got a lot more weight in here. There's 54 grams at the back, which is really going to drive that MOI and getting that weight on the outside of the club. We've also got 40% more carbon composite in here, so that's saving weight in places we don't want, such as high up here on the crown, and allowing that big weighting at the back, which is going to deliver that MOI and forgiveness. Now, Mizuno have made massive gains recently in the driver market. It wasn't necessarily something they were known for, but now we see a lot more tour players putting them in play. This is a much more forgiving model, so I wonder how we're going to get on. It's pretty interesting. This is a massive back weight. I'm really interested to see how that performs. Interestingly, this is a 9.5 head, which you don't see very often. You can move it 4 degrees on the hosel, so quite a lot of adjustability there. To say though, what's quite interesting is there's obviously quite a lot of max and forgiving models on the market this year, and some of them look pretty big behind the ball, but I would say this is probably one that looks more compact, and maybe it's just because kind of the paintwork on the top, we've got the contrast, kind of the pattern at the back and the black on the front, but it does sit really nicely behind the golf ball. See how straight I can hit it. That was so heely, and it's still like in the width of the green, which is pretty nice. 97 clubhead speed, and moving that quite fast for a bigger clubhead. It didn't fly very far, because I caught it in the heel, only 210. So there's definitely a strike location issue. Interestingly, one of the things they've done in the tech is they've made this driver longer. So it's 45 3/4 inches, and they're saying they can do that because it's more forgiving. So hence you've seen the clubhead speed go up. Wonder if that's actually going to help my strike location though. Oh, that was nice. Tell you what, that flew insanely high. Made the upslope at the start of the green. 227.7 carry, 8,000 spin, 96.8 clubhead speed, 140 ball speed. It's cold today as well. Pretty good numbers there so far. I just can't believe how high that looked like it went from a 9.5 head. You'd hit it higher. Good option. I've had a full in the house now, a toe, heel and a middle. And they've all literally been like literally within 15 yards dispersion. I guess it tells the max story nicely. Now I would note on that point, I obviously do still lose carry distance when I didn't strike that well, and it's dropped back down to like that 205 mark that I saw with the first one. But the accuracy, like the straightness, was pretty impressive. I tell you what though, on centre strikes, that new face material feels incredible. Like it really feels like a player's club, and I think you get that from the address as well. It looks like one, which I think is quite nice because it kind of tells that like Mizuno story of what you expect from them. Like when you think of Mizuno, you think of players' irons, and that's carried 232 yards, which is a pretty good hit. That's such a nice ball flight, I actually love it. It spins quite a lot as well, so like that was a good strike. It spun 2,800, the one before that was 3,000. They've literally both carried like 232 point something. Got up like 90 feet in the air, which is all really good. I think sometimes people can be a bit scared of spin. Like we got on that phase where everyone wanted like high launch, low spin. It's not necessarily always the right answer if you're going to have some misstrikes, because the spin can drop off loads. You just get a ball that can't hold its line. It's quite interesting how they've managed to combine that mixture of like forgiving and straightness with distance. Wasn't necessarily what I was expecting when I first like heard the name and heard the main storyline. But actually my distance is super consistent as well. Like the 4 that I've struck out the middle and struck really well, they've basically all flown within like 3 yards of each other, which is pretty insane. So it's quite interesting when we look at the data here, because although we've kind of gained a lot of forgiveness, and I would say this is pretty forgiving compared to a lot of models I've tested this year. There is always that trade-off. The things you do in a club head to make it more forgiving don't usually make it faster. So what Mizuno have had to do is put a new face material in that's a little bit faster and also increase the shaft length to give you that club head speed to make the ball go further. That could be a trade-off for consistency, because the longer length shaft means you're not going to consistently hit it out of the middle as often, which I have kind of showed a little bit of here. So I just wonder if that's the right decision. If you're deciding you're going to have a max model and you've already got faster tour models in your lineup, should this have just been about forgiveness? Should it have had a shorter shaft? Should it be a lot easier to hit the middle? Because that would have kind of matched the name and the theme. That doesn't mean this isn't a great performing driver. It is, but I just wonder if maybe the longer shaft was like a little bit too far. What I do really like about this club though is they've given us like that max performance, max forgiveness, but in a head that feels and looks like a player's club. I think that's quite a hard area to hit. It's probably something quite unique on the market. It matches like that Mizuno name, probably a lot of people that will be interested in this model. And it's given really good numbers. So if you're really keen on this, if you like the looks of it and you want to dial in the strike location, maybe just get it fit with a shorter shaft.